Welcome to Leland's Logic. I am Leland, your host, and we made it through the thunderstorms and we have power down here in Florida finally. But what would you do if when you grew up you found out that your mom had fed you crickets, worms, ants, and grasshoppers? A food writer, Tiffany Lee, is doing just that with her own baby boy. Tiffany wrote an article about it and states that she is feeding her baby boy crickets and plans to add worms, ants, and grasshoppers to her son's diet eventually. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Leave it in the comments of this post. Tell me what you think. I personally do not understand all of this push for human beings to eat bugs, but some say it is because of those who support the Green New Deal and want to eliminate things that are harmful for the environment. But Tiffany stated that some of her motivation is to save money on their grocery bill. And I'm not sold on this myself, but I know that Tucker Carlson did a show where he was eating crickets and different things the days before he was taken off the air by Fox News. And I'm sure that I am not alone in my lack of support of eating insects and other things like them. But one has to ask, why is this being pushed by celebrities and the elites? But make no mistake, the Democrats are utilizing the celebrities to push this onto us. They have a method to their madness, right? Listen, eating a 3-ounce serving of chicken will provide your body with a whopping 27 grams of protein as opposed to a measly 6 grams of protein from eating crickets. And I say chickens are environmentally friendly, right? As they produce very little methane gas, but they are pumping out the propaganda for this fad of eating bugs. They have a Vanity Fair video even, which has Nicole Kidman eating live hornworms, live mealworms, crickets, and fried grasshoppers. And while she gives a wink to the camera every so often, while she's eating them. And as always, I will be placing a link to this video in the comments of this post so you yourself can see the video. My research all points to the World Economic Forum. Yes, WEF, W-E-F. Remember these people? I have shared many things that they are pushing on previous Leland's Logic shows, and they are the group behind the Great Reset. They love being large and in charge and telling people how to live their lives and what they can and cannot eat now. What they really want is for you to stop eating beef and replace your diet with insects in order to save the planet from climate change. The mainstream media is all over this as well, wanting everyone to just start eating insects. These people of the WEF will lecture you about climate change while they fly around the world in their private jets, going to the world's best restaurants and chowing down on the world's best steaks. This is how it works in poor countries. Steaks and high-quality animal products are for the powerful elites. The bugs are for you. Sounds a lot like George Orwell's book 1984, doesn't it? But believe what we show and tell you, deplorables. Believe it. Not to mention, if they can get you to stop eating meats and start eating bugs, the rising price of meats and animal proteins are no longer an issue, right? The bug diet also will assist and give big agriculture, you know, the giant food corporations who lobby and buy off politicians. It will allow them, they will be able to and be more than willing to sell you insects and radical processed industrialized grains and seed oils that go into the what? The fake meat alternatives. Why would this be? Oh, trust me, because of the sky-high profit margins manufacturing and selling industrial sludge rather than raising free-range livestock and cattle, which is not as profitable. You see how that works? Who's ready for a Philly bug sandwich? Or to go to a worm boil at our friends on the weekends? Listen, the bugs are already on the grocery list, folks. Our leaders are just waiting for us to start consuming them. You see how that works? Now, I want to ask you a question. Do you have a plan? Are you prepared? And many of you right now, without a doubt, are asking yourselves, a plan for what? Well, I'm going to share a little bit of something with you today. People who live in states that experience natural disasters by Mother Nature on a yearly basis understand how important having a plan or plans are. They know that being prepared is the key to surviving a natural disaster, right? And this is a similar type plan that I am talking about. When I think about strategic planning, I think about the movie Home Alone. You remember that? When it comes to strategic planning, a big part of it is asking what ifs or scenario planning, which can drill it down to the core, right? Now, our favorite Christmas time young man Kevin had taken the time to plan for every angle of defense. If only his parents would have not delegated the counting of the children responsibility and done it themselves, right? But here's what I am talking about here. I am calmly stating, and I want to stress calmly stating, it would be a wise idea to be prepared at this point in this time of uncertainty. We should have some extra food stored away. Now, I'm talking about canned goods as well as dry foods, not refrigerated or frozen foods, mind you. And it would be wise of us to have some extra cash on hand for a rainy day. And listen, it would also be wise for us to have a way to protect ourselves and our families. And that's whatever or however it is comfortable for you to do so. Okay? Many people end up in a bind when unknown, serious events occur because they did not plan and are unprepared for it. I am just saying that it is always a good thing to be prepared. I mean, the best situation that could occur is that you have a plan or plans and are prepared, and you do not need that plan or plans or the supplies, you see? Rather than to not be prepared with no supplies and having no plans. And I want to again to stress that there is no one thing I am referencing or focusing on. I have just been sifting through the sand of current affairs and events and happenings, and I think that this is a very good time to be developing a plan and getting prepared with the supplies needed. In order to execute those plans, we need to be prepared for anything or for whatever that may come our way, folks. I mean, what if all of a sudden you found yourself and your family without power for a month? Are you prepared for that? That's what I'm talking about. What if something happened and you and your family were forced to leave your home for some reason? Are you prepared for that? These are some of the what ifs I am talking about, right? I want to quickly mention one more thing that caught my attention. UPS, the company, flashes a warning sign about the U.S. economy. Now, the UPS, which is America's largest trucking company, by the way, announced on April 25th that their revenue fell 6% in the first quarter compared to last year's first quarter. That caused the operating profit to plummet 22%, folks. This is a strong indicator as their earnings fell short of Wall Street's forecast for this period. And I watch UPS as it is a great thermometer as far as the economy goes. And I have been saying it, and I will continue to say it. We are heading toward a recession. And look, the housing market dropped 20%. So we are seeing the economy go south. So be sure to plan accordingly. And listen, we live in days and times where people are complaining about not having it, but are not willing to work for it. You see? Not to mention, we have government officials who are more concerned about pushing these outlandish and radical agendas and ideologies than doing their job. We live in a time where evil is being perpetrated in plain view, folks. The focus is on all of the wrong things. We have issues with major corruption in our federal, state, and local governments. The U.S. Constitution and the laws are being ignored or selectively enforced. And that is occurring, and it all depends on who you are. Listen, the border crisis is an invasion. Our streets are filled with horrendous drugs that are killing millions of people. Our enemies around the world laugh at us. Meanwhile, we're just listening to threats of war day in and day out. Our once great country is perceived as weak under the Biden administration, which has destroyed the America we all love. They tell us a woman is a man and a man is a woman. This administration has used women as pawns and has ruined all that women had achieved and worked for. They teach our children that their faith and beliefs are a lie. They weaponize different agencies against us who violate their own laws. This administration sits back and watches our cities burn, and they sit back and watch as the violence rages out of control while we all pay the price. Inflation is soaring and is out of control. The economy looks like the many train wrecks that have occurred in this country. We are a nation in crisis being led by a man who does not even know his name or where he is at. One thing I will say to you is they know we will not go quietly into the night. They know we will not just lay down. They are trying to bait us, mind you. They want a reaction. They want lawlessness so they can justify what they do next. Make no mistake, we who love this country so very much will continue to stand in truth. We will not back down or break, and we will never give up. It is not in our DNA. We must continue to stay steadfast, to stay engulfed in our faith in God, and to stay diligent to the fight against evil. It is time to put America first. It is time to put these globalists and elitists where they belong. We need to strengthen America and make it a country that our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren are all proud of. We must always remember that we share one home and one excellent destiny. We all bleed the same red blood of patriots. We all salute the same great American flag. Our best days are yet to come, and may God bless America. Well, there you have it, Leland's logic. And hey, I will see you where the rubber hits the road.